Little wise, wise replies. Welcome to KidSay.
Hello and welcome to KidSay, from little wise to wise replies. In today's episode, we're gazing up at the night sky to answer a stellar question. What is a shooting star? Have you ever spotted a streak of light zip across the dark sky, and someone said, "Make a wish"? We call those shooting stars, but are they really stars shooting through space? Spoiler alert, they're not actually stars at all, and the real story is just as magical. Today, we'll discover what's really happening when you see a falling star, why these cosmic light shows happen, and whether you should worry about one landing on your head. Grab your telescope, or just your imagination, and let's launch into the answer. When you see a shooting star, you're actually seeing a tiny space rock blazing through Earth's atmosphere. In space, that rock, or speck of dust, is called a meteoroid. When it plunges into the air around Earth, whoosh! Friction with the air heats it up so much that it glows and burns. That glowing streak in the sky is what we call a meteor, aka a shooting star. So it isn't a star falling at all. It's a rock falling really, really fast. How fast? Sometimes up to 45 miles per second, about 72 kilometers per second, as it hurtles through the sky. The air around it gets super hot and shines bright, creating a brilliant trail of light. For a few seconds, we see a bright streak zip across the sky, and then it's gone. You might be wondering, what happens to that rock? In most cases, it burns up completely during its fiery flight. These rocks are usually quite small, often as tiny as a grain of sand or a pebble. They disintegrate into ash and dust high above us. That means no piece ever reaches the ground in those cases. The shooting star is basically the flashy farewell of a little space rock that got too cozy with Earth's atmosphere. Meteors, meteoroids, meteorites. What's the difference? Let's break down some cosmic vocabulary. Don't worry, it's easy. Meteoroid, a chunk of rock or metal out in space cruising around the sun. Think of it as a teeny tiny mini asteroid. Meteor, that same rock when it enters Earth's atmosphere and burns up, making a streak of light we see in the sky. This is the shooting star you wish on. Meteorite, if part of the space rock is tough enough to survive the fiery fall and actually land on the ground, then it gets a new name, meteorite. Most are small, but some can be big. If you've ever seen a cool-looking space rock in a museum, that's a meteorite that was found on Earth. So picture this. A little rock is floating in space, meteoroid. It falls towards Earth and lights up as a meteor, shooting star. If anything is left and plops to the ground, it's a meteorite. Easy peasy cosmic squeezy. Why do shooting stars happen? Meteors can happen anytime. Random bits of cosmic dust collide with Earth every day. In fact, scientists estimate about 48 tons of space debris fall toward Earth each day. Don't panic. Almost all of it vaporizes high up in the atmosphere as pretty streaks of light. On a dark night, if you're patient, you might see a few sporadic shooting stars just from this random space dust. It's like Earth is driving through a sprinkling of bugs on a windshield, except the bugs are tiny space specks and they burn up in our sky. Sometimes, though, the sky really puts on a show. Have you heard of a meteor shower? That's when you see lots of shooting stars in one night, sometimes dozens or even hundreds per hour. Meteor showers aren't just luck. They have a cool cause. They occur when Earth passes through a trail of debris left by a comet. Imagine a comet, a big dirty ice ball in space, orbiting the sun. As it gets near the sun, the comet heats up and sheds dust, rock, and ice, leaving behind a trail of cosmic crumbs in its orbit. Now along comes Earth, plowing through that trail of leftovers each year at the same time. When we smack into those comet crumbs, tons of meteoroids hit our atmosphere in the same region of the sky, one after another. Voila! A meteor shower! All those streaks seem to fan out from one point because the meteors are moving in the same direction, and perspective makes their tails point back to the same spot in the sky. It's like an interstellar car wash. Earth goes through the swarm of comet dust, and we get splattered with a bunch of shooting stars. Meteor showers actually repeat annually because Earth returns to the same spot in its orbit each year. We even name these showers after the constellation where those meteors appear to come from. For example, every August we have the Perseids, which look like they're streaming from the constellation Perseus. The Perseid meteors are actually bits of Comet Swift-Tuttle burning up. Each April, like this past week, we see the Lyrids from Comet Thatcher. And in December, the Geminids light up the sky. Those are special. They come from an asteroid. So mark your calendar because the night sky has its own fireworks schedule. Should we worry about falling rocks? In a word, no, not usually. The vast majority of those cosmic bits are tiny and harmless. They fizzle out long before they get anywhere close to us. By the time a shooting star streak has ended, the rock itself has typically crumbled to dust high above the clouds. So you won't have flaming rocks raining down on your head during a meteor shower. Whew. In fact, bright meteors burn up roughly 50 to 75 miles, 80 to 120 kilometers, above Earth's surface, far, far overhead. That said, once in a blue moon, a larger rock does make it through and lands as a meteorite. Most meteorites are small, maybe pebble or baseball-sized, but a few rare ones have been really big. When a huge meteoroid hits the ground, it can form a crater, a big hole. One famous example is Meteor Crater in Arizona, about 4,000 feet wide and 550 feet deep, created by a space rock impact long ago. But events like that are extremely infrequent. The Arizona meteor hit about 50,000 years ago. So, the odds of a dangerous meteorite hitting near you are astronomically small. Earth has been cruising through space for billions of years, and we're still here, right? Cosmic fun facts. Before we wrap up, here are a few fun facts to dazzle your friends next time you stargaze. Make a wish. People have been wishing on shooting stars for ages. Now you know you're really wishing on a burning space rock. But hey, it's still a beautiful moment to make a wish. Meteor fish tank. Earth's atmosphere is like a giant safety shield. It protects us by burning up most space debris. Without it, even small meteoroids would hit the ground more often. Not good for life on Earth. Thanks, atmosphere. We're not alone. Did you know other planets have meteor showers too? Mars, for example, gets meteors when it passes through debris streams, just like Earth. The cosmos is truly one big sky show. So, the next time you spot a shooting star painting a bright stripe across the night sky, you'll know the wise reply. It's not a star at all, but a tiny traveler from space meeting a fiery end as a beautiful meteor. These little space rocks remind us that our Earth is moving through a dynamic solar system, plowing through cosmic dust bunnies, and sometimes putting on a dazzling light show for us to enjoy. Go ahead, enjoy the show. Maybe even catch a meteor shower during its peak, and feel free to make a wish. After all, understanding the science behind shooting stars doesn't make them any less magical. Thank you for listening to KidSay. Stay curious, keep looking up, and join us next time for another adventure from little wise to wise replies. Happy stargazing! This episode is brought to you with help from NASA Space Place, Britannica Kids, and NASA Science Solar System Exploration.
That's it for today's episode of KidSay. If something made you wonder, that's a good thing. Big questions, little thoughts, even the weird ones. We love them all. So if you're curious about anything, open the KidSpace Stories and Music app on iOS or Android and ask us. It's free, and it all starts with your question. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking.